So I don't know if you guys noticed, but every time I get up here and perform, I always have a piece of paper. I never use my phone, and there's a very strong reason for that, and I think today is the time for me to finally tell you. So imagine I'm up here and I'm using my phone and I get a phone call halfway during my poem. How annoying would that be? So I got the choice of hanging up and rejecting someone and making them upset, or stopping the performance and waiting for the phone call to end. So I don't want to be in that situation. So I don't want to rely on these technologies. So no, you're absolutely right. And as an artist, out of respect for you guys, I should put my phone on airplane mode. But there's a reason why I use paper. I know Anthony one time, he got up and told us that his phone stuffed up and he lost all his poems. So then the week after, or the poetry slam after, Anthony went back to pen and paper and he started using the notebook. So I noticed that. So I noticed he went back to old school methods. And technology is advancing so fast that maybe in 10 years' time we're not going to have paper anymore. Everything will be all digital. So I'm going to stock as much paper as I can in my garage. So for all you poetry writers out there, if you guys ever need paper, you can come to my garage. I'll have some. And just remember, our ancestors actually invented paper from papyrus. So we shouldn't lose it. So as you probably realize, this piece is about technology. So I want to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your mum. I'm sorry about your mum. Hey, this is a serious one, I promise. I promise it's a serious one. Don't make me laugh because it's serious. When you hear the rest, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your mum. I'm sorry about your mum losing her job. I'm sorry about your mum losing her job with another 8 workers because of those new machines called self-checkout. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your dad who no longer works at the bank because as the iPhone and Samsung brought internet banking to the palm of our hands held out. I'm sorry for your sister who was told to pack her things and was escorted out of the airport terminal because Qantas now has self-checking baggage machines. I'm sorry. I once waited 20 minutes in a line and finally got up to the counter to hear the teller say to me, "Sir, you waited this long for something you could have done in the machines outside." I smiled and responded, "If everyone had your mentality and thought this way, there's no reason for you to be here and serve me on this nice fine day. Plus, machines don't smile back." She smiled and said, "Thank you." I'm sorry for that slightly overweight guy who has never left his room, surrounded by 5 computers, a desk-turned dining table, a plastic bottle for his number ones, a bucket for his number twos, who's created a fantasy world of friends and love, emotion and interactions through this distinct light fashioned from his screens in the realm of his room, who forgot what the sun outside looks like. I'm sorry to the fine young gentleman who forgot how to talk to a woman because they have been hidden behind the extensive use of Facebook Messenger and all these bullshit social media apps who promote improved and faster communications, where in fact promote increased levels of antisocial behaviour to the point where they have to resort to using apps like Tinder and Snapchat, which increase levels of superficiality to a race that already have increased levels of superficiality instilled in them. This is a long paragraph. I'm sorry to the fine young gentleman who forgot how to talk to a woman because they have been hidden behind the extensive use of Facebook Messenger and all these bullshit social media apps who promote improved and faster communication, where in fact promote increased level of antisocial behaviour to the point where they have to resort to using apps like Tinder and Snapchat, which increase the levels of superficiality to a race that already have increased levels of superficiality instilled in them. I'm sorry to the fine young woman who put on an outfit, do their makeup, get in their car, drive to the cafe, meet up with the girls for a girls' night, then spend the whole evening not speaking a word, not even facing each other, but facing to the addictive light coming from their phone screens. Maybe it's the guy on Facebook Messenger. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel sorry. I feel sorry. I feel sorry that you all think that you are in power and control. No, technology has all the power and control. It tells you what to eat, how to feel, what is beauty, how to love, that there is no love, only sex. All you do is blankly look at the screen and nod. Not conscious of the manipulation and dehumanization it has caused to you. I feel sorry. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the people who walk into my house and before they say hello, ask if I have Wi-Fi. I feel sorry for the people who scream with excitement when the restaurant has free Wi-Fi. For the people who ask you if you have any data to spare. For the people who cry when the battery life on their phones drop to the minimum bare. The people who sit there waiting for their Instagram photos to generate likes rather than change their lives on exercise bikes. I feel sorry for the people who try to connect to iCloud and Bluetooth. What happened to sitting and flicking through plastic sleeve albums and finding the photo of you when you got your baby tooth? Don't be fooled by the light coming from under the thumb of your hands. Look up and see the real light that is trying to penetrate the curtains of your bedroom window. Go out there and smile at people because your smile speaks louder than 1,000 of those dumb Facebook smiley faces. Don't be excited by flashing lights at the screens at your local Woolworths. Let that friendly blonde lady scan your toast and milk because that job lets her go home with toast and milk. You don't want to be the reason for her kids don't get toast and milk. So please let her scan your toast, milk and chips pack and not that machine that doesn't smile back.